If one is good, two must be better, right? Well, not exactly. Let me explain. Now, if you adopted two dogs of the same litter, or you have two new puppies of the same age, this is a must-watch video for you. Today's video is going to cover the important info you need to know, but most people aren't actually talking about it. Today, we're going to go over some of the downsides of having two dogs of a similar age, from the same litter, or even different ones. We'll talk all about the best way to train them so that they will be healthy, independent, mature, and great adult dogs. And we're going to also talk about some signs that you need to watch out for that indicate things are spiraling downward fast. Let's get going. We have a lot to cover today. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog. Now, I understand the thought process of getting two puppies at once. Most people feel like the two dogs can keep each other company. Now, I also understand that raising a puppy can be challenging. I mean, look at the business I'm in. If puppies weren't challenging, frustrating, or even overwhelming at times, I would be out of a job. But when people get two dogs in hopes that it will be easier, they often accidentally raise them as one dog, and this can create a lifetime of frustration for the human and unhealthy for the dogs. So keeping each other company can lead to exactly the issue we're going to talk about today: hyperbonding, or what some call littermate syndrome. Since the phrase littermate syndrome isn't actually a scientific syndrome, but it's what most of the general public know it as, we're going to refer to it as such throughout the video, while also including the scientific study known as hyperbonding, aka when getting two dogs of the same age or from the same litter, it's not a good choice. The irony here is that exactly the thing that some people think is going to be easier makes it much more difficult. Now, what I want to specify is that the issue we're talking about refers to raising two dogs from a young age, who are going through the developmental stages together. This is not the same thing as raising two dogs in a household who are, say, 8 months apart. Now, that's not a specific age difference, but in general, if they're at least 8 months apart, we see a lot less issues because they aren't going through the developmental stages together. Now, the other thing I want to point out is that there will be plenty of people who share that they've raised two dogs of the same age without any symptoms of what we're talking about today. Yes, it can definitely turn out okay, even without all the work that I'm going to recommend today. But the downside is that the experts see it happen often enough that trainers, vets, shelters, and even ethical breeders all warn against raising two puppies at once. So take this analogy about burning candles. Many candles have a warning on the side of them that tells you not to burn candles unattended because it could cause a house fire. Alright, well, not all people who burn candles burn their house down, but enough of them do that the candles come with a warning label. Not all puppies raised together will experience the symptoms of littermate syndrome or hyperbonding, but enough of them do that getting two puppies is not recommended by those who have studied canine science and behavior. No ethical breeder will adopt two puppies out to the same home. Now, if your breeder has that policy, I'm going to give them my stamp of approval. And if they agree to sell you two dogs at once, this is a red flag that they don't understand the severity of the problems that stem from raising littermates together in the same home. And if you want to know more about what things to look for in a breeder, take a look at this video. You know me, if it's a topic in the dog training world, I've got a video for it. Alright, let's talk more about this thing everyone's calling littermate syndrome. What the heck is it, and what can we do to prevent it? Littermate syndrome is a description of behaviors that professionals often see when two dogs of the same age are being raised together. It doesn't only refer to littermates, but could be present any time two young dogs are raised together. So it occurs most often when the dogs are adopted young, under 6 months of age, and go through the developmental stages together. It's not a diagnosis or a medical condition, but it's something that you should definitely watch out for if you're getting two dogs. Essentially, hyperbonding is often a result of two puppies spending so much time together that they learn to rely on one another above all else. So, if you thought that the benefit of having two dogs is they can rely on each other, well, that's actually a downside, and we're going to do everything in our power to prevent this from happening. And if that was an aha moment for you, well, I'm glad we're here together and we can come up with a plan to move forward. Let's talk about the symptoms of this issue. What we usually see with pairs is that one puppy's more confident or more outgoing and one who's more timid or subdued. And if that's their temperament for a lifetime, it could work out fine. But sometimes these puppies reach adolescence or adulthood and the timid one gains enough confidence to stand their ground. Older confident dogs who are very patient with young energetic puppies give what's called a puppy pass. Once the puppy reaches the 6-month mark, the older dog revokes the puppy pass and starts to offer corrections in a way that canines traditionally communicate with each other. Now this could be subtle, like a whale eye or a tongue flick, or it might be more overt, like a growl or a snarl. And if you haven't seen my video on stress signals in dogs, check that out so you know when to recognize them. When two puppies are the same age, one might revoke that puppy pass and suddenly there's a conflict. But the other puppy is still working with a puppy brain, and he often doesn't listen. This is when you might start to see that cute puppy play turn into something more serious, like a fight. They fight over resources, including space, food, toys, bones, and even humans. At that time, you'll have a lot of training to do to teach each dog what you want them to do instead. It's highly unlikely that they'll outgrow the behavior, and sometimes training isn't sufficient. I've even seen cases where the humans are forced to keep the dogs separate for the rest of their lives. They must use a crate and rotate system when that happens. One dog's always crated when the other one is out, and then you rotate. Now, if that sounds like a lot of work and you don't want to manage all that, then littermates are probably not a good idea for you. I can't stress this enough. This change in their behavior or the relationship could happen at any time. They might be totally fine for the first few weeks or even up to about 6 months old. And maybe an issue develops at 1 year or 4 years. Eventually, with littermates, you simply have to be prepared for it to change at any time. Now, the first year is the most critical time when you might see the behavior crop up, especially during adolescence. But don't rest after that time. We see it appear at any time. Some professionals feel that the same-sex littermates tend to fight more and harder than the opposite-sex dogs. Again, that's not going to be a hard and fast rule, but if you have two dogs of the same sex, it's probably important to be extra vigilant. All right, so what are we looking for? How do we know something might not be right? Well, of course, the fighting is a pretty easy sign to spot, but there are some more subtle ones that don't always appear in their relationship with each other, but in their general demeanor. So these signs essentially show a relationship deterioration between the dogs or between the dog and the human. Signs range from aggression to severe codependency, or even something within the wide spectrum. So other symptoms include fear of strangers, fear of new things, general lack of confidence about the world, high anxiety when separated either from each other or the human, and slow or limited ability to grasp basic training concepts. I'm sorry if this video is causing you a little bit of distress if you've already brought your two cuties you love home. I don't mean to make it difficult on you, but I am an educator, so it's my job to break it to you as gently as I can while giving you the benefit of my experience. Let's get to the productive part of this video. What do we do about it if we already have two dogs? Alright, since there's not an official diagnosis for a medical condition here, there's not a hard and fast set of rules that you can follow to prevent it. Each situation will be different, but here are a few suggestions that we see from most of the professionals, including myself, who have worked with these situations. Number 1, time apart. You'll want to make sure these two dogs spend the most time apart as they can. This is what I meant when I said that what you might be looking for out of two dogs is exactly what you want to avoid. There's no exact number, but many professionals suggest your dogs should spend a maximum of 1 hour a day together. That's the total time in contact with one another, whether through play or eventually training when you've built up the skill set to work around high-level distractions such as another dog. Now that means separate crates, separate pens, separate potty breaks at separate times, training at separate times, and separate everything. As part of a structured schedule, you can allow for play dates if they're not getting too riled up, but you might find yourself even a 5-minute play date is more than they need. So offering them 5 minutes together 12 times a day can get a little labor intensive. Essentially, you want to raise each one as if they're a single puppy. Most people are not set up well to do this, or have no desire to do this, which is why most trainers will always advise against getting two puppies at the same time. We want you to have the strong bond with your dogs, not be hyper bonded with each other. We want you to have such a strong relationship with each one of them independently that you will be the most important thing in the room, even when they're together, not the third wheel in the relationship. Number 2, study body language. Understanding canine body language is like learning another language. It takes study and practice. You'll want to make sure that everyone else in the household is also fluent in this new language, so you can all be involved in managing the transition into doggy adulthood with consistency. Knowing canine body language allows you to notice the stress between the dogs early, and you can intervene without them getting too far along. The more they can practice the unwanted behavior, the harder it will be to stop. Number 3, socialize them well, separately. This doesn't mean playing with other dogs all the time. It does mean introducing them to the outside world in a positive way, so that they learn confidence and independence. This should ideally be done before the socialization or the imprint window closes around 16 weeks, and their natural positive disposition changes to be a little more suspicious of new things. So if you are busy with your real life during the first 8 weeks your puppies are home with you, littermates are not a good fit for you. If you're a single person, we strongly advise against littermates, unless the puppy owner has an extensive network of friends, family, and dog walkers who are all dedicated to learning along with the puppy parent. Unfortunately, a single person is rarely in a position to properly raise 2 dogs of the same age. Number 4, teach settling behaviors. Even though these pups are separate, they know each other is around, I promise you. But the other puppy is a built-in distraction for your young pup's brain and can make training a little more challenging, even if they're in another room. And if there's any hope for them to be in the same room together and not constantly in play mode, you're going to want to teach them to both relax, especially in the presence of each other. Now, we suggest you be well versed in teaching your dog how to actively settle and know the calming tools and activities that can guide you. And yes, we have a video on that for you. All right, number 5, budget your time and money for 2 or more. This is pretty obvious advice. 2 dogs is going to take more time and more money. Now, you can't share leashes or harnesses or collars or pens or crates. You've got 2 dogs, not 1, and you're going to need 2 of everything. That also means 2 vet visits and double the grooming costs. And we definitely recommend insurance, times 2. One more thought. Does your car fit 2 dogs who are secured safely in their crates? All right, tell me the truth. Are you finding this info helpful? Even if it's not what you wanted to hear, I hope you're appreciating the education. And if you are, show us some love, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend, or use the super thanks feature. All right, another tip for raising littermates. Number 6, make sure crate training is 1000% effective. You'll be using the crate a lot as you work with one dog while the other one is tucked away resting. So, from the moment they come home, you're going to want to be consistent with crate training. Sorry, but no lap napping for right now. The crate has to be the number 1 happiest place on earth for both of those dogs. It's really difficult to know when you can relax on some of these suggestions and just let the dogs hang out and chill together. I know you've seen a lot of that in adorable social media posts. Unfortunately, every situation is different and you'll have to evaluate your own situation with its unique characteristics. If you have littermates and are committed to raising them in the most healthy, positive way possible, you're going to find our online course at the pro level to be the best guide for you. We can help you learn more about canine body language. We can help you evaluate their play style, review their schedules for appropriate time together and apart, and we can help you notice any warning signs that might crop up. The personalized attention that you get from me and the other trainers, they're going to be perfect as you navigate your lives together. Now, the link to learn more about the course is below. We've helped a lot of people who have littermates, and we can help you too. All right, maybe by now I've convinced you not to get littermates, but maybe you're sure you want 1 more dog. I understand, I have 2 myself. I definitely like the idea of raising 2 dogs of similar ages. If they're within a few years of each other, you're gonna find that they get along a little bit better than maybe a senior dog and a young puppy. But how do you know when it's time to get a second dog? Well, I've got a video for you on that too. You know I do. This video is going to help you decide if and when it's the right time to add a second dog to your family. And if you don't already have littermates, it's the next video you should watch. And if you do have littermates and you're feeling a little uncertain about things, please don't worry. We can work through this together. Put any concerns or questions you have in the comments below and we're going to help you out. And if you do have littermates and everything has worked out okay, that makes us happy. But unfortunately, it's not the norm, which is why we put the video together and why so many pet professionals warn against it. All right, this is Michele Lennon, your favorite online dog trainer, signing off for today.